Hi everyone, this is Phil from Gaming, and today I'm going to give you my updated guide to taming crystal wyverns in ARK Survival Evolved. The Crystal Wyverns are an awesome new addition to ARK Survival Evolved in the Crystal Isles map. In my previous video, I did talk about all of the different types of Crystal Wyverns you can see and the basics of how to tame them. However, in this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about ways of taming them much more effectively. I'll show you guys how to find Primal crystals, and I will also show you a really cool method of taming them that doesn't involve you staying on the ground and watching these wyverns fly all over the place while you're being bitten by compies or whatever. But before I get to that, I'm going to show you an effective method of getting primal crystals, which are essentially the kibble of the crystal wyverns. To do it, what you're going to do is you're going to build yourself a wyvern trap. If you've ever had to get wyvern milk, you know about this process entirely. Here I've got some behemoth gates set up in a line, and at the end of the gates I've got some stone pillars set up, which are wide enough apart that the wyverns won't be able to get through, but I will be able to get a pteranodon to fly through it, which will become very evident in a minute. Now, if you don't have any friends, sad times, you can also set yourself up a keypad to key control the gate so that when you fly through it, you can open and close it at a distance. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to aggro this wyvern, which so conveniently was very, very close to my trap, and I'm going to lead it through the trap, and oh yeah, he's right behind me. Excellent. I fly through the pillars and I land by my keypad. And as long as I do this fairly quickly, it won't de-aggro, though I will admit the wyverns de-aggro fairly quickly, and then I just set off the keypad and alright, I need to deactivate this because I'm closing the gate, so deactivate the door, and there the door closes behind, and there, I've got myself a trapped wyvern. At this point, all I need to do is tranquilize the wyvern, and I do so with a long neck rifle, and I'm using some shock tranq darts at the moment, and this might have been a touch overkill because it took 2 darts. Now mind you, this was just a little level 15 wyvern. So I get up close to it, and as you can see, it says E, take crystals. And you can see I've got 2 primal crystals right there. And that's all there is to it. Since there is a spoiling time on the primal crystals, you only have about 45 minutes, it is important to try to get more crystals. So it does seem that higher level wyverns give more primal crystals. This level 55 gave me 4 primal crystals. And here's a level 90, and this level 90 gave me 8 primal crystals. So it does seem that the higher the level, the more primal crystals you will get. Me personally, I set my trap up in the southwest portion of the map in the tropical region, and the reason I did that is because there are a lot of wyverns you can find there. You can see in the creature finder here, there's lots of wyverns that spawn in this region, and the tropical region doesn't have a lot of hostile creatures that will get in the way of the tame. If I'm interested in just very, very high level wyverns, I would probably choose the Wyvern Air Cave, which is located in this region. The Wyvern Airs spawn in a desert cave, and they are always very, very high level, so they will probably drop far more primal crystals. Do be mindful, though, that this cave is surrounded by lots of hostile creatures, so it's a high risk, high return. So now let's talk a little bit about taming. If you do have these primal crystals, the taming will be much more efficient. It will be about 10 times as fast as you would get with regular crystals. To tame, simply put the primal crystal in your 10th slot, approach the wyvern, and then press E, and the wyvern will fly up into the air. And that's the biggest problem, is that every time you feed them, they fly up into the air. But fortunately, there is a workaround. What you're going to do is, before you feed the wyvern, you're going to try to get onto its back. And you can do so by either climbing up on the tail or climbing up on the wing, and try to get up on the back as close as you can, and then go prone. And once you've gone prone, then feed the wyvern, and it will fly up into the air. And if you got the positioning right, you won't fall off at all. Now, I'll be honest with you, the positioning here is by no means right. So what do I mean by that? Well, when it starts going vertical, there's a very real chance of you falling off. And I forgot parachutes, but fortunately, I have pretty decent typing speed. Stay in school, kids. To get the positioning right, what you're going to want to do is you want to go prone right between the shoulder blades of the wyvern. So basically right at the front edge of the wings, that's where you want to go prone, just like you see here. And once you do that, again, just look down and press E to feed the wyvern, and you will be safe? I'm going to say relatively safe because this is ARK and glitches happen all the time, but it does seem to be fairly effective. I was able to do this without falling off or dying at all. Now this level 95 took about 12 primal crystals to tame, and the taming interval is about 1 minute in between each feeding. So you can see that you actually have a fairly decent margin to tame fairly high level crystal wyverns. And finally, it's important to note that none of this is possible until you are at least level 65, because the tooltip to feed wyverns primal crystal or just regular crystal doesn't become available until that level.
Do you have any more tips about taming crystal wyverns? Tell us about that in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please feel free to leave a like, comment, also subscribe to the channel, and as always, have fun out there.